Alright guys, welcome! Oh my gosh, I am so excited to be starting this channel for you all. It has, I don't know, I feel like been something that's really been put on my heart lately to encourage other moms who are thinking about homeschooling. Maybe you have a school year coming up. It is currently the end of July here when I'm filming this, and school year is right around the corner. I've had a lot of people message me on social media asking me questions about homeschooling, what curriculum we're using, what does homeschooling look like, all the things. And so I thought, you know, this is something that isn't really talked about a lot. Homeschooling became more popular during about 3 years ago. And then since then, I feel like people have just kind of reverted back to the public school system. And I think people are beginning to, again, get more curious with a lot of events and topics that have been happening in the public school. And so I thought that this is the best way for me to provide encouragement and some information about what homeschooling exactly looks like for our family, because it can look vastly different for many people. But this is what we do. And so today I thought it would be fun if we just I showed you guys the curriculum that my son, who is in currently the 5th grade, we just started back our homeschool year. And so we started July 5th. And so we're about 2 to 3 weeks into our new homeschool year. So he has already started using the curriculum that I'm going to show you, but I know a lot of you have questions about how do I pick curriculum. There's so many out there that I thought it would just be helpful if I showed you what we're going to be using this year, and you can look into it and see if it would be a good fit for you and your family. Before we do that though, welcome if you are new here. My name is Lisa. We are a homeschooling family. My son is 10 years old and my daughter is 8 years old. We currently live in this wonderful state of Florida. We are originally from Pennsylvania and we moved to Florida about 2 years ago. Best decision we've ever made for our family. And so we homeschool now. This will be our 3rd year homeschooling, but not consecutive 3rd year. So a little backstory quickly on, this is the short version. I'm thinking about maybe doing a video where we talk about the longer, like go more in detail of our story and our journey with homeschooling. This is the short version though, is that about 3 years ago, when the world we all know happened, we decided to homeschool that year. So 2020 to 2021, we decided to keep the kids home and we homeschooled them. April of 2021, we moved to Florida, and we really felt like the next best move for our family was to send the kids back to public school. And so that's what we did. We loved the public school that they were at. Their teachers were great. The kids, for the most part, right, were really enjoying it. And then the spring of 2022 happened, and we just started feeling like God was putting it on our heart to bring them home, and some things had happened in the public school that we were just not super happy about. And so we really prayed about it, and I just really felt like we needed to pull them. And so it was about April-ish of 2022 when we pulled both the kids, and they did not even complete the entire school year. And so we pulled them, we de-schooled, which if you're not sure what that is, that basically just means we took some time off for them to kind of come out of the rhythms and routines of what a public school looks like. So we took off a few months, and then we started our first/second homeschool year, our first full year in Florida. And so last year we completed our first year here, and then now we just started our 2nd year. And it has been the biggest blessing to our family that we could have asked for. So if you have any questions or comments, you guys be sure to leave them down in the comments and let me know if you homeschool, do you have feelings about it? Are you thinking about it? Do you feel like maybe it could be good for your family, but you're just not sure? What questions do you have? And I can make videos on that to help you all. So with that being said, let's get to our curriculum. Okay, so like I said, my son is 10 years old. He just turned 10 in May. And so technically, right, he's going into 5th grade. We completed our 4th grade year last year, and he is now in 5th grade. And so I'm just going to show you, we typically keep our school load rather light. I definitely wouldn't say that we're unschoolers, but we are not. I really try to not make our homeschool look like a public school. So we have rhythms that we follow in the morning, and the first thing that we do is chores. So once the kids have eaten breakfast, they can start on their chores, and they can either listen to a podcast, an audiobook, or music on their headphones as they do their chores, because quite frankly, that's what I like to do. And so I allow them to do that as well. As long as they are actively getting their chores done, I'm fine with that. So that is typically how they start their day. And then after that, we all come together, we sit down on the couch, and we do Bible study. So this year we are doing a Bible study for kids from a company called Not Consumed. And the first one that we're doing is called Navigating Friendships. So this is what it looks like. This is his copy. My daughter has her own copy that looks different. They do have different levels, and this one I believe is for, I want to say 8 to 12 years old. So I can give you a look inside. It is 20 days completing. So this is the 20-day. There is writing in here. There are Bible verses for them to remember. It's just been really a blessing for my kids to kind of dig into the Word first thing in the morning and hear God's voice and see what God really has said about friendships and how to navigate them, because as they get older, you know, a part of homeschooling is you have to be very, very intentional about friendships. And I really love that this Bible study has shown us that your siblings are your friends, right? And so even though they don't think of that sometimes, right, that is a friendship. She has a whole bunch of other ones I will link her website down below. She has a bunch, and she even has a parent guide or teacher guide that the next one I would really like to get, because I think that this would be really great even for myself. So this is what they do. First thing, this takes us about 30 minutes every morning, and we do it all together, even though my daughter's looks slightly different than his. They're both along the same lines. And so then this is his Bible that he uses. I will link this one down below. It is the Kids Adventure Bible, and so far we've really been loving it. So this is that. My daughter has the exact same one in like a coral type cover. So Bible study is first. Like I said, this takes us about 30 minutes. The next subject that he does is handwriting. So almost all of our curriculum is faith-based curriculum. It ties our faith, we are Christians, into their education, which was really important to us as a family. Not everything, though. I would say about maybe 80% of it is faith-based. Something like this, cursive handwriting, I could have purchased scripture writing for him to learn cursive in, which looking back, I wish I would have done that. But we have what we have, and that's okay. So I bought this on Amazon. It's just grades 3 to 5 cursive handwriting. And you can see this is still, we used this last year and he never completed it. And so we're just gonna keep going with it. And so that's the part of the beauty of homeschooling, is if you don't finish something, it's okay. You don't have to live and die by curriculum. They're not looking for that. All they're looking for is that your child has made progress. You know, he's going to continue to work through this for the rest of this year. And then possibly once he's completed this, we will move on to something a little bit more biblically based. And so I think like cursive is such a dying topic. I don't even know that they teach it anymore in public school. Do you guys know? If you know, tell me down below. You know, I think so many times people think like, oh, what do kids need to know cursive for anymore? Everything is typed. And while that's true, and I believe that, it's very important for them to learn typing, right? And how to learn to navigate a computer. they also have to learn how to sign their name, right? You're not going to print your name. You still need to learn how to sign. And cursive, I think, is a dying form, but I still would really love for my kids to learn. And so that's why he's using this. Okay, next up is math. Oh my goodness. If you look out there and you just Google math curriculum grade 5, the amount of information that comes up is very overwhelming. And so it's very easy to just get like flustered with all of the options out there. So many options. However, we have used Masterbooks for math. This is what he's using this year, level 5. Masterbooks, unfortunately, only goes to level 6. And so I don't know what, honestly, I don't know what we're going to do after next year. We're going to have to figure that out somehow. But for right now, we're not worried about that. We're just worried about this year. And so Masterbooks has been so good for my kids. We did try Horizons last year with him for math, and it was just, I don't know, it was kind of dry and boring and repetitive, like very repetitive. It would take him, you know, an hour to do one lesson, and it was like pulling teeth because it wasn't fun for him. And so I thought, you know what, we're not doing that again. We're gonna go back to Masterbooks because it's gentle, and that's what I love about Masterbooks is, like you can see, here he is just doing his multiplication tables, review, division, and then it goes into, so for level 5, I will tell you, he's gonna review geometry, dividing 2 digits, fractions, what else? Decimals, multiplying and dividing fractions. And so I think this is gonna be great for him. It's gentle, that one lesson only takes him maybe 15-20 minutes a day, and for the most part he can do this independently. I just have to be there to kind of like make sure he's on the right track, right, and he's not like fiddling or getting a snack which often happens, right? And so if he, you know, really just wants to get it done, he can get it done in 15-20 minutes tops, very easily every day. And so this is the one that we use for math this year. We also do a lot of cooking and baking in our kitchen. And there's a topic of debate out in the homeschool world that learning through the kitchen is not sufficient enough for your children. And I kind of teeter-totter on this. I don't know. Well, maybe that's a topic for a different day. Okay, moving on. Let's move on. Next up is, we love these books so much. My kids, like, if they could pick one thing to do in homeschool, it would probably be this. This is probably their favorite book out of everything that I'm going to show you. These are called Explode the Code, Essential Lessons for Phonics Mastery. And so you can see they are just like really quick, easy review worksheets for them. They do go level 1 through 8. I believe they also have, if your kids are smaller, and like a pre-K, kindergarten level, they have what's called like A, B, and C. So that's like before even the level 1. You can find them on Amazon. I will link these down below. They're relatively cheap, around like $10. And they are just really good, like, review things that they can do on their own if I have to be working with one child on a specific topic. Like, let's say my daughter needs help with her language arts. My son can be doing this on his own independently. So we just do a page a day, and it usually takes them 5 to 10 minutes. Like, it's not bad at all. So this is just something extra that we have added in that just they really love. And so I will be very sad when we are completely done with Explode the Code in our house. Okay, sorry, I had to change positions because the sun is starting to come and it's getting very dark on my video here. I want the language arts to be gentle enough that my kids, it's not going over my kids' head, right? So that they're not doing the work just to say that they did it and then forgetting it like next week. And so we have heard from so many people about the good and the beautiful. language arts, and math. I cannot speak to the math because we have not ever purchased the math or used it. So I can't speak to that. I know a lot of people love it though. However, the language arts was something that we just decided to try this year, and so far we've really been loving it. And so my son is actually on the Good and the Beautiful website. There is an assessment that you can give your child to see what level they are at, because the levels do not correspond to the grades. And so my son for language arts is a level 4, and so this is his book. This is what it looks like. It comes in a spiral bound book, and it's kind of flexible here. There are 180 lessons, I believe. Nope, sorry, I lied. 120. And so the goal is for you to do this 4 times a week, and you will complete one in a school year. However, I don't know that we're going to complete this school year. It is beautiful. It is all-encompassing. It is literature, grammar, punctuation, art, geography, spelling, vocabulary, and writing, like all in one. And so there is a lot that they pack in here, and I love it. So far, we have been loving it. It also comes with this spelling and writing workshop. And so we don't have to buy a separate spelling curriculum like we did last year. Our language arts did not come with spelling last year. And so this year I really wanted to look at something that had everything in one, and so it didn't feel like it was another thing that he had to do. And so like I said, we really wanted to streamline this and keep it as simple as possible, and this was the best way to do it. And so the spelling and the writing workshop, he does every other lesson in combination with that lesson. And so for him, just for him, now this may not be for every child, but for him, this is a lot. For him to do an entire language arts lesson and then a whole writing lesson, it's a lot. And so I've been breaking it up into, we do a lesson, we'll do one of these. We do a lesson, we do one of these. We do a lesson, we'll do one of these. And so it's been going really well. It takes about 20-25 minutes a day, and he doesn't feel overwhelmed, which is exactly what I wanted. So in addition to the language arts here, it also comes with 2 readers, and these go with the language arts course book. So it will tell you actually in the language arts course book when to pull these out and what chapters to read. He does this when it tells him to. Aside from this, they also have 20 minutes of independent reading that they have to do every day. And so no matter what our course work looks like, they are both required. We set a timer on the Alexa, and they do 20 minutes of independent reading with a book of their choice. I, for the most part, do not require them to read a certain type of book. So if they want to read a chapter book, if they want to read a graphic novel, Julian's been very into like sea animals, and so we have marine life like encyclopedias and things like that. He will read that. I'm totally fine with that. If it's a cookbook he wants to read, he's very into baking and cooking. I'm fine with that. I just want them to read, have a set amount of time every day and read for 20 minutes because he is reading these, and these are chapter books. So he is getting this in, but I also want them to just read for pleasure. So our other courses are science and history. Those we do all together as a family. So they are unit studies. Right now we are currently doing a nature study on the oceans for science, and we are doing U.S. American history from Gather Round for history. We all come together and we do that together. I will do another video about that, going more in depth with each of those and kind of do like a flip through so you guys can see what it looks like for those. But that is all for now, you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Be sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe so that you can see more content like this. And I am super excited about this channel. I really feel like there's a lack of people on social media showing exactly what homeschool looks like in the day-to-day. And so I'm excited to bring you guys along. I have a couple of like day in the lives planned for us so that you can see, practically speaking, like what does my day look like with my kids being home all day, right? how do I know that they're learning? How do we make sure that they're having a social life? Because that is the number one question I get all the time from everybody is like, but how do my kids meet other kids? How do they have friends? My kids have tons of friends, spoiler alert, and we spend a lot of time with them. And so I'm excited just to show you how the ins and outs of our days work. And so like I said, if you have any questions or need to know anything, be sure to leave me a comment. Until next time, you guys, see ya.